잘생겨 그대야 왜 그렇게 쳐다보나요 아무 말도 건네주지 않고 나의 눈을 피하지도 않고
Hey everybody, it's Jasmine. So today I'm bringing you guys my first prom look of the year. I know I'm a little late. I'm sorry. I don't know where the time went. The time literally escaped me. But I wanted to hone in on a rose gold look for you guys. And I also wanted to give you guys a lot of tips and tricks on how to create a flawless base, flawless makeup. And I just hope you guys all enjoy the look. Let me know how you guys like it. And let's get started. Alright, so I am so sorry about doing a voiceover, but I realized when I was filming the first portion of this video, the first half, I didn't turn on my microphone, so this actually was completely silent, so I'm going to have to do a voiceover for the foundation part, but that's fine. Everything else I will have the audio up and running, but for now I am talking about the importance of moisturization, and I talk about a lot of the Pacifica Probiotic cream. This is my favorite, and whenever you want a long-lasting base, no matter what your skin type, whether you're dry, normal, oily, combo, whatever it is, you always want to moisturize your skin because it helps smooth out the skin and give it an even texture all over, and it just makes everything that layers on top lay on so much more beautifully. For this video in particular, I am using my Fenty primer as well as my Fenty foundations. Now, typically, whenever you are working with foundations and primers, typically the same brand of primers usually go hand in hand with their own foundation. And, you know, the Fenty primer is actually pretty okay. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. I use it more as a hydrating primer. It also creates a kind of sticky base on your face so that when you do apply the foundation, it does have something to stick to, but I am going to, for the sake of this video and because it is a prom video, I am going to use another primer that is more mattifying as well as something that really locks in everything, keeps my makeup lasting on a long time. And here, since you see me applying it with a brush, I did actually run through the primer. I'm just scraping the sides with a brush just so that I could get every ounce of it out of the bottle because you guys know me, I like using everything up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and blend it in with my fingers, and this is just, you know, something typical. We all do this. Just blend it into the skin and really work it in as if it was a moisturizer. Now, as of recently, I've actually been really liking the Catrice Keep Me Matte Primer. This has actually been really good. It's not drying matte, which I feel like a lot of drugstore primers can be. This one is more of like a hydrating matte primer, if that makes any sense. It keeps the skin feeling still supple and soft, but the foundation itself takes a longer time to break down. The primer doesn't break down as quick, so it makes the skin look matte all day, and I can attest that this primer really works because I actually wore this look out for a long time after I did this because I had work right after, and I spent a long time in this. So this one is really good if you're looking for something drugstore and very inexpensive. Now I'm moving into my Fenty foundations like I mentioned earlier. I am mixing the colors 290 and 210. Now the key to having a long-lasting base is, yes, moisturizing your face, yes, using different primers because they have different purposes, but also building up your foundations little by little. You always want to work in sections. Now I only did one pump of each foundation, and I spread that evenly across my face, and now I'm blending it in, and you can probably tell that my face isn't full coverage. You could still see the redness around my nose. You could see some of my acne scars peeking through on my cheek a little bit. I know you guys probably can't see it through the camera, but I mean, I could still see it in person. And you just really want to make sure that you have that first layer evenly on your face, and then you want to go in with whatever more products, whether it's concealer or more foundation, in that trouble area, just so that it can reduce the appearance of cakiness and it could last a little longer on the skin. Now after you built up that foundation, you want to go in with some concealer. I'm using Tarte Shape Tape because it's full coverage and it's something that we all know, we all trust, we know how she works. And so I'm putting this in areas where I want to brighten. So that's going to be under my eyes, my nose, my forehead, and my chin. And the real trick to concealer is the Jackie Aina trick. Just leave it on for a little bit. So you see that I'm like not talking and I'm kind of just looking off weird to the side. Ugh, I hate that for me. But you just want to make sure it sits on your face for about a minute or two before you blend it out. And my trick is whenever I want my under eyes to be really bright, I go in with the clean side of my blender. And if I want the concealer to blend into my foundation, then I'll use the same side of my blender that I had my foundation on to blend. I don't know if that makes sense, but I did mention it here in the video, but you couldn't even hear me, so I'm trying to explain it the best as I can. So to follow up with that example that I was talking about, I used the butt of my blender where I used to blend out my foundation on my forehead and my chin area, and then I used the clean side of my blender to go under my eyes. And as you could see, my under eyes are a lot more bright than the rest of my face, and that's kind of what I wanted. I mean, you could totally go in, you know, with the dirtied foundation part of your sponge to blend in the concealer, but I really wanted my under eyes to be really bright and very awake. I don't care if I fully trust a foundation. I don't care if a concealer is self-setting or if it's matte. I will set it, and I will set it with powder. And so I wanted to go in with a light dusting because Tarte Shape Tape is pretty potent and it is high coverage, sets on its own. So I decided to opt in for something of a lighter coverage for the under eye area. So I obviously used my ShopMissA Banana Powder. This is the pressed version. And I'm applying this under my eyes with the Sigma F35. This is one of my favorite brushes just for pressed powder application because I feel like it really grabs that powder and really just airbrushes it under the eyes or any area of your face. For the past few months, I know you guys have been seeing me use a lot of eyebrow pencils. I'm personally not the biggest fan of eyebrow pencils. I will use them, but whenever I think of a long wearing eyebrow, I always go back to my Dip Brow Pomade. This one's by Anastasia. I'm in the shade Dark Brown. I'm deciding to use my ShopMissA brush for this, and I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm explaining to you guys that I take the product on the brush and I really pack it on, and then in the cap I slide the brush back and forth so that the product is evenly distributed in the bristles, and then I'll go in and fill in my eyebrows as normal. I have a ton of eyebrow routines on my channel and I'm using pretty much the same method, but in case you guys haven't seen any of my eyebrow routines, I'm just quickly explaining it. I always start in the bottom and I always start in the bottom half, and then I will slowly bring my way towards the front of my eyebrow. I will follow that same step to the top of my brow and then fill in with normal. With the brow pomade, I am kind of messy with it, not gonna lie, because I do go in with brow powder after and I just make all of the fine adjustments in that step. You really can't separate me from my Wet n Wild eyebrow powder. I think that's known by now. I hit pan on an eyebrow powder. That's kind of rare. That's rare. That's a rare sighting. I love this stuff so much. Now I am taking this on a very thin eyebrow brush, and as you see here, I'm going in upward strokes just so I could create fake brow hairs throughout my entire brow. I like to go in with the lighter brow color in the front of my brow, and then as I get more towards the outer portion of my brow, I will then go in with the darker shade. And you could still see here, you know, it's not perfect. My brow is very thick. I do see that. I am going to go in with concealer to really define it out and make it a little bit thinner. But honestly, guys, I haven't been plucking my brows for like the past 2 months because my birthday is soon, and I just want to make sure that when I go in to get them done that the lady makes them even. I just need them bushy now. I just need them bushy now, but I will fix it with concealer. It's all good. So I'm just doing the same step on the other brow. And again, with that Tarte Shape Tape and a concealer brush, I am just going to go ahead and take my time carving out my eyebrow. Now, of course, if you're the type of person who really likes fluffy brows for prom or events, then by all means don't do this. This brows honestly is to each their own. Everyone has a different brow shape, a different brow style that they like to rock for events. My personal eyebrow shape when I do go to events is having a really cut eyebrow, so I did take a lot of concealer to really shape it out. That's just my personal preference, and honestly after this step my audio will be back up and running, so thank you guys for staying tuned for my voiceover, and yeah, let's go into Talking Jasmine now. Today's palette of choice is the ShopMissA XOXO palette. I was looking for a rose gold palette because I am wearing a pink shirt today and I was requested to do something rose gold. So I thought that this one was actually one. Why is this dog barking so loud? So for the eyeshadow, I think I'm going to match it to my shirt. So the shade right here is perfect. It's in the second row. And I'm just going to pack it on before I blend it out because I think today I'm going to do like maybe a glittery cut crease. Not sure yet, but we'll see. I just want to pack this on for now. And then with that same brush, we're just going to go in windshield wiper motions on the edge of the eyeshadow to really blend it out. I will take a transition shade, but I just want to make sure that the edges are a little softened up. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit more of a lighter pink, and we are going to go in and blend the edge of what we already have packed on. And this is just so that we can have a nice blended to filth smoky eye for now. And if at any point you're like, oh my god, I brought up my eyeshadow too high up, you know me, I like to actually bring my transitions up pretty high, but in case you want to blend it out, just take your powder that you used for your face. I'm going to take this more on like a flat blending brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right at my brow bone and blend in this powder with that transition, and it'll sort of help blend everything out together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with more of like a mauvey purple. There's a lot of options in this palette. So the ones that I used already were these two shades. Now I'm thinking of deepening up my crease with maybe this one up here, or this one, or this one. I might mix all three, who knows. But I am going to deepen up my crease with one of those shades, and we'll see how that goes. I'm just taking another ShopMissA brush. This is their E136. I've been using brushes from their Paw Paw charity line for my transitions and stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack this on into the outer corner, and this one's not dark enough, so we're going to go into a darker one. And while we have the color in our outer corner, I'm also going to bring it into the crease because I am thinking and I am settling on the cut crease. So you just want to just bring it into the crease and it'll add the slightest bit of shadow. So I'm going to go in with a liquid highlight. This is by Stila. This is their Glitter and Glow highlight in the shade Kitten. I got this at Marshall's for $5.99, which was a steal. And I'm just going to go ahead and do my cut crease with this. I'm only going to do a half cut crease, but if you're comfortable and if your eye shape looks better with a full cut crease, by all means, go for it. Mine looks best with a half cut crease, in my opinion. But I'm just going to apply this, and I will put another shade on top of it so it's a little bit more of a rose gold hue. Tap out the edge right here so it's not too harsh, and then so it could blend in a little bit better. Alright, so this is still wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my other shadow ready. Now I am thinking of going into my collaboration eyeshadow right here. This is Peace Out with GlamByKarleexThatsSoYin. ThatsSoYin. Okay, so I am thinking of maybe applying a little bit with my finger. I'm going to put it on my middle finger because that's the cleanest one that I have. And I'm just going to pat this shade near my lash line because the Stila eyeshadow is very pigmented and it gives an effect all on its own, that it's just, you know, here, shiny, glittery, highlighty. So I'm bringing this more towards my lash line as a base. I'm going to wait for this all to dry so that it doesn't crease on me. While I'm actually in this little position, I might as well go in with my eyeliner. So I do have my ShopMissA eyeliner here. I think it's really good. It is not waterproof, but it does last a very long time on the eyes. I actually don't really wear waterproof eyeliner in general, fun fact. So I just like wearing long wearing ones. Just gonna do a regular winged eyeliner here. Now what I'm gonna do, I do this with a lot of my looks. I'm gonna take whatever is left on my concealer brush that I use to carve out my eyebrows, and I'm gonna take that same brush under my winged eyeliner just so that there's no shadow under my eyeliner and it's all very clean and crisp. Alright, the shadow seems to be all dried up, so now let's move on into mascara. You guys know this is my ride or die mascara, and I can't live without it. This is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to go ahead and prep my upper lashes. I am going to still work on my eyes because we're not done. I just want to make sure that the lashes at least have mascara so that they're prepped for my fake ones. And because we are wearing fake lashes, I am going to go ahead and use some black eyeliner into my tight line area just because I want to make sure that there is no flesh gap. And you know, it's a detail that not a lot of people focus on, but for me personally, it's kind of like what I like to do. It's a little extra step. So I'm just using my Bare Minerals Lasting Line. I look down into a mirror and I go ahead and apply this. I'm going to go ahead and start prepping my lashes to be applied. So I'm going to use the Lash Label Storm Lashes. I've only used these once before. These ones actually look really nice. They look very dramatic, but they flare out and they're very wispy and they look better on than in the package. And then for the lash glue, you guys know my one and only Kiss Lash Glue. The best, great for contact wears, it's great for sensitive eyelids as well, and it's something that I highly recommend. So while the lashes go ahead and dry, I'm going to use a brown eyeliner to line my lower waterline. I was thinking maybe I should do pink, but at the same time, brown looks good with everything. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm using my LA Girl Glide Gel Liner, and this is in brown. And for this step, you just want to look up into a mirror and apply. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply that color that I initially put on my eyes, the one that matched my shirt. I'm just going to apply that right under my eyes and mix it in a little bit with that eyeliner. Lashes should be ready now, so let's go ahead and apply it. I like to look down into a mirror, and I like to do outer corner first, and then I work my way to the inner corner, just like that. You can use tweezers if you want, but I mean, fingers work just as well. I'm just going to, for secure purposes, really secure down the inner corner just so everything is all in place. And then don't forget to pinch the natural lash to the fake lash so that when you look to the side, no one can see the differentiation between your fake ones and your real ones. So now that I'm looking right into the camera, you guys are probably like, oh my god, her eyes are so heavy. We're actually going to match the heaviness on the top to the bottom. Now this is a step that I do in a lot of tutorials, and you know, not a lot of people do it. It's fine, but it's just something a little extra that I do just so that there's enough drama on the top to match the bottom. I think I said that backwards. Enough drama on the bottom to match the top. Thank you so much. So I'm going to take my Sigma E20. This is just a very small brush. I'm going to use the dark shade that I use to put in my outer corner. I'm going to look up into a mirror and I'm going to line it right where my lashes grow. This is going to add the softest touch of definition down there, and it's going to seem like I have a lot of eyeliner, a lot of smokiness, and it's just like the smallest detail that no one really cares about. But you also don't want to forget to add some bottom mascara as well, because we already have these big lashes on. Right, so let's go on into the rest of the face. Now I'm going to take a face powder, and this is going to look a little bit more natural than a bronzer. I mean, there's not much difference, honestly. I just feel like face powders just hit differently. So I'm using my ShopMissA Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Warm. This is just a nice, warm, chestnutty brown. I'm going to apply the powder with my Judo & Co. ES15. And this is just a really nice small angled brush to really fit into the contours of my face, since I mean I have everything else on my face, so I don't want to really disturb any of it. Bruh, move your loud ass car out of the way, bro. The key to bronzer is to add warmth to the skin, so you can probably see now I look a lot more tan. And I don't usually contour my face because that is supposed to add shadows, and that's not really what I'm going for. I'm going for, like, you know, glam, bronzy, sun-kissed. You want to hit the bridge of the nose a little bit, just a little bit, so that your nose is a little bit more prominent. I'm not going to go ahead and contour my nose today because, again, that's not what I'm going for. So I'm going to go ahead into blush. Now, you guys remember, this used to be my favorite blush, and then I stopped using it for a minute because I actually had it stored away. My Apricot in the Middle blush by Wet n Wild. Love her. Gonna bring her back for today. Now I'm going to apply this with my Spicy Choco No. 6 brush, and I'm just going to take it and dust it on the cheeks. Do you see how pretty that is? Already gives me like an instant glow. I am going to do a little bit more of an intense highlight today because we want it to match the eyes a little bit, and I feel like it would all come together a little bit more in the end. If you guys watched my March hits and misses video, you guys know that I mentioned the ShopMissA Astro highlight. The best, especially paired with this brush, their Bon Voyage brush in F34. Ooh, I love it. So you guys are going to see here why it's actually amazing. I use this a lot when I'm live on Instagram and everyone's like, oh my god, what eyeliner is that? Literally the best. You don't need a lot because it's a powder highlight. You just want to apply right where the light hits. And usually for me, I love applying it where I smile so that when we're taking pictures, it looks great. Like, people know you're radiating positivity, optimism, you're cherishing life. You love life right now because of this. We're going to switch brushes to a very small pencil brush. This is the Sigma E30. I'm going to take the highlight and I'm going to go ahead and pop this into my inner corners first, then the tip of my nose, and right in this divot that I have right here, and it's all going to round off the look. And then you just want to make sure you blend it in because you don't want anything unblended here. Everything's all about blending, looking good. Before I forget, because I feel like I forget in every single tutorial, brow gel. I usually do brow gel after I finish everything on my forehead so that there's nothing falling into my brow. So I'm using the Ulta Beauty Brow Tint in the shade Medium, and I'm just going to go in upward strokes to brush my hairs up and so that they look a little bit more fluffy and tamed. Since this is more of a rose gold look, we are going to go ahead and play around with the light pink lip. You guys know me, pink lips are not my jam, but we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna take the Real Her lip liner in I Am Everything, and this is gonna be a base for everything that I'm gonna be applying. We're gonna tone it down with the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in London, and this will just make it look a little bit more nude. And then finally we're gonna go in with the Fenty Gloss Bomb, and this one's just the original, the Fenty Glow. Alright everyone, that wraps up this video. Hope you guys all enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching and requesting for some prom videos. I love you guys all so much. I hope you guys enjoy the look. I hope you guys wear it out, whether it is to prom, whether it's for a date night, whether you want to go to Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, you know? So I hope you guys all enjoy, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.